Welcome, everyone, to another edition of the West Coast Trios Wrestling Podcast. I am Tony, your host for today. Over here is Miguel, and Kelly Rattlesnake, and we got Mondo. Still in his trance after meeting Leo Rush. I see. How are you guys? How are we doing, guys? Sorry, you guys are. I'm looking at you guys, and Mondo, I got your like right in front of me. You're killing me right now with the blank stare.
How you know? How you know?
Hopefully, you guys had a great afternoon. I know. It's Sunday. We just had a amazing World Cup finale. To others, it wasn't what they wanted, but it is what it is. That's how you play the game. And congratulations to España, to Spain, for defeating the legendary Lionel Messi and Argentina today. But kudos to them. But on to wrestling here. But again, how are you guys doing today? Just want to make sure you guys are good.
Good. All good. Ready to talk about some wrestling.
It is hot AF out here, and I may not be myself today. I hate being out in the sun.
Speaking of hot, it is that time of the year where everything is sizzling, and we're getting ready and getting closer to WWE's SummerSlam. Feel the heat. That's 1989. If you that was their slogan back then. But the build up to SummerSlam is underway, as we've seen, and we've been talking the last couple of weeks too. But this time around, the build up to the main event, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. They had a really, really interesting promo on Monday Night Raw, where Roman Reigns calling Seth Rollins number 2, and number 1. So you gotta acknowledge the OTC. But I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing here with this build up. A little weirdness happening on Saturday night's main event, but with all that being put to the shelf, I think this is building up to be a really good main event for SummerSlam. So, what do you guys think happening? What's happening here between these two and their build up?
I think the build up is good. I'm interested to see how it all plays out in the end, but I definitely think it's a good I guess curveball that we weren't really expecting, right? Because we thought maybe there were going to be some other storylines brewing, or maybe going in a different direction, and then now we have this. So it's different.
It's looking like it's better than most of these rivalries that they've had in the past. They're kind of taking jabs at each other. But this time, these jabs are like really, really personal, which was really good at the end of Monday Night Raw. And it's actually shaping up to be something really, really good. And then they finally explained that Oba Femi stipulation. And I'm just thinking that was their excuse. I guess it's better than none. But it took them a week to kind of figure out, like, what excuse are we going to give Oba? I am afraid that you will interfere in my championship match. That's the point, dude. That's the point where you have rivalries, that they do these things to you to get under your skin. And I don't know, man. When I heard that, it was just like, okay, I got it. You want to focus because you want to have a one-on-one chance if you ever go for the title, which is okay and great. But you're just letting me know that your mind, and it's great with the whole work for SummerSlam, Brock Lesnar is in your head. So that's something that's going to be a great match also in Hell in a Cell. And it just shows me Oba Femi, it might not be strong-minded as we thought. You just have to get under his skin, just keep, interfering somehow and making his life hell. And then, as they say, he will acknowledge you. And that's kind of interesting there, the dynamic that they're going into, not only his character, but just kind of like, hey, you know what? I'm going to waste my title shot opportunity. I'm going to take care of this first, and then I'm going to go after the title, which is pretty good. Actually, just thinking about that again and just over my, my mind and just talking about it with you guys, It makes a lot of sense, and it's good character work for Oba Femi. So let's see where this goes. What do you guys think with Oba there? Tony?
Yeah, I think the match itself, the build up, I mean, we were taken for a loop at WrestleMania and the ease that he dismantled, so to speak, Brock Lesnar. But then now when he comes back, he's in his hometown. I keep hearing whether or not that's his last match, right? Because he said he kind of retired at WrestleMania, and I feel like, man, that dude's making a boatload of money. ESPN is throwing money, right? TKO is throwing money at Brock Lesnar because he's a giant superstar. He has his own like solar system. Like this guy is money, right? This guy and Mondo, I know you're in outer space right now, so you can probably
Yes, I
see
know.
Lesnar around there. But all I'm saying is that I don't think this is going to be the end of Brock Lesnar. That's my gut feeling. But I'm enjoying what I'm seeing between Oba and Brock Lesnar, and it's funny because I was like, please don't rip your pants again during Monday Night Raw, dude. Like, if you're gonna do another suplex or something, I'm like, I don't want to see your underwear. But
A
this
la
time he
Bart
did.
Simpson. Hey girls, look at me. Whoosh.
But yeah, I like what I'm seeing between these two. Another well built match going into SummerSlam.
Yeah, when it comes down to Brock, man, you guys know how I feel when it comes old versus new talent. It's not so much the talent itself, right? I guess with Brock, I don't mind it as much if they're gonna keep him the way that they're doing it now. So what I mean by that is we're not seeing Brock on a week out, week in basis. We're pretty much seeing on, I guess we can say now, very special PLEs. If we're gonna keep that storyline like that, and like Mondo said, stabs in between, jabs in between, promos in between, I'm for that. Let's see where that goes because I think that is much it's a much more powerful storytelling rather than throwing a boatload of money at Brock, but then having him week in and week out again. Then I asked the question, then why the hell did we bring Obafemi up from the bottom? You
Makes
know,
sense. Yeah.
I like let him do the workhorse um work week in and week out, and then like Mondo was saying, do these promos, these stabs, these jabs at each other, and then certain PLEs where okay, this is gonna be a hit, let's go for it. But yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm with you, Tony. I don't think we're gonna see the last of Brock. I think they're just trying to find a way to squeeze what we can out of Brock that's left.
Oh yeah, I totally agree, and I think I think next week it'll be a little bit It'll be a little kind of difficult because I know next week there's a pay-per-view happening in AEW. So I don't. Hopefully we can get together before or after the pay-per-view happens, and then we can have this conversation, and then kind of like, okay, we can predict. I don't what the outcome is going to be for SummerSlam, but we'll get to AEW shortly in a couple of minutes here, but yeah, so far so good. SummerSlam build up. Lastly, when it comes to the build up, this whole CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, hey, you hit me in the eye with a belt, and they're getting really really upset with each other. And then I don't know if you saw today because they have this thing called Fanatics Fest, and they had this like this segment, so to speak. Oh no, well it was Fanatics Fest, but it was a kickoff to SummerSlam as well. And so they had the interview between Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, and then CM Punk was like, "Hey, that wasn't an accident. That was an accident. I'm sorry, my bad. I hit you with the belt. That was an accident." They're in front of each other's face, and he's like, "Well, this is not an accident." He kind of like pushes them away, and so they kind of started, feuding that way. Do you guys feel this is rushed? Do you guys feel like this story between these two should have been built a little bit more, or are we seeing something that is like getting your attention?
Well, it was long-term storytelling booking because about a year ago, I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get this wrong, but I think it was Cody who was champion, right? And then pretty much CM Punk came out and he said like, "Hey, I think Cody gave him the open challenge. Just you name it, anytime, anywhere." So, I mean, both are big faces in the company around. So what they're trying to do is establish one as a heel. So I think this is the closest we'll get to being Cody being heel in WWE, unless something changes. Like maybe he, I'm gonna have to put it this way, pussies out on his little accidental push, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't mean to," and then it's like, well, now you have two baby faces. But normally, what you want to see in the program is, somebody getting a little bit of heat while the other's the face. So if they're gonna do this, maybe just a one-off run with Cody being the heel in this one. Okay. I feel more it should have been CM Punk as the heel, kind of hypocritical bastard that he is. 10 years ago, what not, like, why is part-timers getting all this attention? Why are like Miguel says, these people who've been here long enough are getting pushes? And it's like, you're the hypocrite. You're coming back. You're getting a push. You just got a title placed on you. And, it's just, to me, it's like, you got to have a good guy. You got to have a bad guy, just to keep it in layman's terms. And is it rushed? They got a few weeks, to build something. But this is a good start, and we'll see where it goes.
I'm just lost. I'm really lost about what the hell's going on with Cody's story. Seriously. At this point, one day he's fighting for the undisputed champion, and then the next thing you know, now he has a feud with CM Punk, who has the heavyweight belt, if I'm correct, right?
Correct.
Okay. What the hell are we doing, man?
Is
Like,
it a brand thing?
I mean, even if it's a brand thing, no, I mean, I'm not trying to discredit what you're saying, right? It can be a brand thing, like, right, but
Raw versus SmackDown, I guess.
it still doesn't change. Like, what the hell are we doing with Cody though? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the hell are we doing with him fighting for the undisputed champion one week, and then the next week now we're beefing with CM Punk, like if they've been beefing for the last year or so.
Yeah, they're building it up. I mean, it's little. They finally started doing something, and I think having Saturday night's main event in the past, it's crazy because in the past Saturday night's main event was one of those shows that gave you an extra sliver of like, hey, we're gonna build something up. And back in the day when they used to be on NBC, oh man, those were times to be had, and just random fights, but then they build up to something else. And then I think they used Saturday Night's main event to finally build something because they had an extra show. So I think this one, I think it's rushed. I think it's a little rushed. But like Mondo said, there's you still have another. You got Monday Night Raw coming up. Then next week you have the last Raw before. Well, I don't even think they're going to be on Raw. They're going to be on SmackDown. So there's going to be SmackDown and another SmackDown right before SummerSlam. And I hope that they do a little bit more, like Mondo said, build it up a little bit more. They have time, so hopefully they try to get more butts into seats at Minneapolis. So it's going to be interesting. And on paper, it looks great. Cody Rhodes, CM Punk. But then, you got to build that story. You got to build that story. And like Callie said, that, what are we doing with them? So hopefully with Mondo, well, like what he said, they'll build something. They'll cook something together. Hopefully, nice and sweet there. So
the Bulls versus the Hawks. I don't know. It doesn't have the same ring to
it. Have we seen the last of Bayley?
I think she'll be going to AAA and doing her thing there. I mean, I know she was involved in a few matches with Lola Vice and Lyra Valkyrie.
Crazy Cat Lady.
I haven't really seen them in AAA for maybe like 2 months now. Well, actually, like a month ago, we probably seen them wrestle. But it just leads me to believe if they haven't been using her as much here in the American brand, I mean, they're killing it down in Mexico, man. Like, and if you really think about it too, the women's division in Mexico, it's not big, but it definitely is mighty. Like the girls, they throw down there, man. But it's a very small pool of girls. You know, there's not, excuse me, women. There's not a lot of women like a big women's division. And now you have someone like am I saying her name right? Like Lyra Valkyrie
Valkyrie,
or Valkyria or
Valkyria, I think.
okay. And then Bailey, Lola Vice, who I'm sure she does, you know, both brands, but I just think there's a unique opportunity for Bailey to go down there and kind of do her thing.
Is it the last time we'll see Bailey? No, she's gonna go to CML and she's gonna go down there, stay there for a good while until her contract runs out. We'll see if she'll resign. She's a big name, you know, and she can elevate other wrestlers. I mean, look what she's doing for Lyra. Is that how you pronounce it? Lyra. It's crazy cat lady to me.
But she's cool though. She wrestles good too, though.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, you know, you put her with Bailey, you know, some a veteran like her who can call the match, and vice versa. You know, good things tend to happen when you're in the ring with Bailey, and that's what WWE needs at this point.
Yeah, they do.
But right now, it's all on them. You know, it sucks that we have to go that route, but you know, TKO and their business decisions and everything that's in between the lines, so to speak, it's entirely up to them if they're going to keep Bailey. Huge loss if she doesn't resign, and that's a big if. But then again, we're just gonna have to wait and see.
What's her total time in so far? What, like 12, 14 years in the company or more?
I think just about about 12, 14, give or take.
But she's been through the trenches here pretty much.
Yeah.
Right? Oh yeah. She was one of Dusty's star pupils back in NXT before.
That's right, baby. I said, Bailey, you're gonna go out there. You're gonna be a huge star. Be a huge star with the kids. You're gonna be a role model. Boom. You know.
Bam! That's a. How do I come up with it? I can't even do his voice. But, how do I come up with this? I'm this American dream. That's all I am. Sorry.
Don't worry about it, baby. Take a guy like Sting. Look what I said and look what I predicted. Boom. But yeah, you know, Bailey's been in there, so it'll be a huge hit to the women's division because, again, you look at the women's division, they could use some veterans, and the veterans they bring in, it's just like, man, you know, it's nothing against them, but Brie Bella, Soraya, like,
yeah, I mean, listen, man, I've been saying this over and over again. I don't understand bringing in. Again, I'm not talking shit, right? But I'm with you on that, man. I don't understand why bringing in that veteran leadership when you have some amazing leadership in the roster right now, and then somehow we're not finding spots for these people. Like somehow we're not finding a job for these people. Like somehow we're not putting these people in a place not only for them to succeed, but as you alluded to, maybe put them in a tag team so that the other person can succeed, so that the other person can see, so that the other person can learn. You mean to tell me that we're not doing this with the veterans now? And like you said, oh, okay, cool. Let's bring on Brie. What the fuck we bringing Brie on for?
Well, actually, speaking of Brie and Paige, they actually lost the titles over this past Saturday, and the Fatal Attraction, they became the new girls on the block. These are up and coming stars. And then I mentioned it earlier, like you know, these again, you know, brand new blood, so to speak, and they've been making, you know, waves in NXT, and then as they're moving their way up in SmackDown. I don't know. You know, I see 3 ladies on here. I don't know. That's the WWE's answer to the Triangle of Madness that we've been talking about in AEW. I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching here, but you know, this is a new faction that is taking over the women's division on the WWE's end, and you know, I like it. We talked about this a while back. You mentioned it, Callie, Mondo. You mentioned it as well. You know, bringing in, you know, these veterans. Hopefully, this is a nice transition and kind of like getting the reps in, not just the Sarai. I'm sorry, damn, you got me, damn you.
Oh yeah, Paige.
Paige,
Yeah,
and
wait.
Brie Bella,
Took me a while.
to finally help these girls achieve what they need to do and take the next steps to step up and carry the tag team division now. So I like seeing that. That was a really good move.
That was a great move. And again, it goes back to, well, we'll talk about this later, but just counter programming between what they're doing and whatnot. And I think both brands need to just focus on themselves and not worry about what's going on with the other, because that's just, we don't want to copy and paste. It's like, oh, okay. So, it's like, just for example, hey, they won the tag team division over here. Okay, AEW, what's your answer to this? Well, we're just going to send them to Stardom and get the trios belts. It's like, let's stop doing that, because then it's just, you may or may not ruin the pay-per-view when it comes, to each individual pay-per-views. Like, say if title changes hands. Okay, and now we know we're probably going to see something like that because they need to copy somebody. It's just focus on storytelling on your brand, your company, and we're fine. The only thing we're asking for is if you bring veteran talent, they need to act like veterans. It's like Miguel said, this isn't, like baseball, football, I'm sorry, it is, you want to focus on the younger talent. And just like I see in Ring of Honor, just for example, or when they come up to AEW, you see most of these veteran guys, they don't get like these crazy pushes. They don't get slapped on a title. They're having matches and they're elevating the younger talent. They're taking losses. And it's coming at the expense. Just for example, since we're talking about trios, the men's trios with, Lethal Switch or Lethal Injection, with Blake Christian and forgot the other wrestler's name. Sorry, I apologize. They're new in the scene, but they have a veteran in their trios, but they're losing. And that's fine. You know what I mean? They're getting, like Tony said, they're getting the reps in. They're getting the exposure. They're getting the experience. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but in a few months, that younger talent, with or without Jay Lethal, could go to prominence, could go to the top of the mountain, either in the tag division or a trios division with someone else. As opposed to just, what WWE does. Oh, we got like veterans over here. Slap them on the belts. They haven't done anything. We might as well give it to them. It's like, wait. They haven't been wrestling for like years. They just come back from like a 3-month, 5-month, 6, whatever hiatus you want to say. Slap on the belts. Like that's that. Just like with CM Punk, like he was the biggest complainer about that, and yet it happens to him, and yet he doesn't want to relinquish the title. It's just, to me, it's just two different ways of thinking. But that's what we kind of all agree on: is if you're going to bring the veteran talent, have that veteran talent elevate the younger people, have them get those wins and expose them to the business, to the fans and the audience, that they can be it, that they can get a response. Because if you just, hey, we're going to put you with CM Punk. CM Punk is going to bury you in 5 minutes. What the hell did you do with him? You put him with a veteran who's not going to put him over. Like, come on, let's think about that for a minute. You need to develop the young guys. If that's not the veteran you want to help put over somebody, ask somebody else. I'm pretty sure there's another veteran out there who hasn't been on television and is dying to get out there and work with somebody younger. But we don't get that. With WWE, it's just like a weird, I don't know. Again, we're just speculating here, but it's like their philosophy is a bit backwards to me. And like we all
It's
said,
more of a nostalgia act, I think, because when they both came back, it was something where they haven't been together in a long time. So they're like, oh my god, obviously they're gonna get the pop in the beginning. You're gonna get the pop, and then you get the slap on the belts, which we can't out of nowhere. We're like, oh shit, okay, they got the belts, okay, and then we see them kind of jump in there, and we're like, they're really rusty. And we
so why put on the belt on them in the first place if you're gonna be rusty? So yeah, it's.
So I'm happy for the change.
It's a good change.
Kelly.
Timely, but good change.
All right, congratulations to the ladies of Fatal Attraction. I just want to say that Fallon Henley is a babe. She is a babe. But I can't really follow up anything. That was just it was well said, and I still stand by what I said a few weeks ago. In terms of talent and the way kind of they look at age or veteran status, I should say, because age doesn't really matter, but let's just say experience status. I just feel for some reason wrestling, the WWE is backwards than every other sport where we're congratulating veterans and putting on these titles immediately on them, knowing that you have youth in the back just sitting there waiting for their time to shine. And instead of getting the belt on one of them, and okay, let's just take that away. Instead of putting them in opportunities to get a belt or to be mentored by these veterans, you got a veteran like CM Punk who spends his whole time talking shit, and now he has a title and doesn't want to let go, but spent the better half of 10 years talking shit. That like that to me is dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like I I don't understand it. And I know from a fan's perspective or from his perspective, he's like, well, I don't give a fuck. I don't need to answer to none of y'all, which is valid. He doesn't need to answer to any of us,
Correct.
but
Yes, he does.
I am 100%, with Mondo when it's like, you spent the better half of 10 years putting everyone down or talking all this shit or trying to make sense or trying to, now in my eyes, I look at it as you're just trying to serenade the crowd with what they want to hear and fast forward to the future. And this is the shit that you're doing. All right, get out of here, man.
Yeah.
That's traps.
Speaking of getting out of here, as we move on right before we get into AEW, last thing I'd like to say, go F yourself, Neon. I don't know if you guys saw that viral video where he exposed Penta's face by accident. And I kept seeing it. Now I see his Penta with black, and he didn't have his mask on.
Yeah.
And apparently they told him not to record during Saturday Night's Main Event 2. And then there's a video where Dominic Mysterio actually is flipping him off because for what he did with Penta. Unknowingly, obviously, Penta was just, chilling in the back. And this is Fanatics Fest. Fanatics Fest. He happened to be walking in Neon and was recording, and he was live. And in the backstage area of Fan Fest or Fanatics Fan Fest, Penta was walking around without the mask, but he did have his paint on. And so,
My thing, sorry to interrupt you, man,
yeah,
but my thing with all this shit in terms of the influencers or whatever these
Who the
motherfuckers
fuck
are,
is Neon? What is that? A color or is an actual person? That's his
I,
real
that's
name.
some dumbass, yeah.
yeah, I don't know what he is besides an influencer, whatever shit that means, right? Because influencer means, I guess, apparently everything under the sun. But I don't know who he is or what he does or anything. I just know that this dude's like a content creator online. But this is just in general, like one, fuck you, Neon, like for real, bro. Like, how you gonna be at a fan fest and say, oh, I didn't know not to record or any of that stuff. If you're walking in the backstage of a wrestling event, the one thing that you need to understand before anything is kayfabe. I don't care who you are. I don't care. Understand that first. So whether you were willingly or unknowingly recording, like that's some dumb shit. Now, number two, why the hell is WWE letting these motherfuckers get into the back? That's my first that before we
Logan
even
Paul.
get
No, that was, but I don't think it was WWE. I think that was more of the Fanatics. It was the Fanatics Fan Fest. So the Fanatics
people.
brand was overseeing all that.
Okay. So all right,
Yeah, they fucked up then.
my apologies. Then the fan fest, but still, even then, why the fuck you letting people who not with that association? What just because you're an influencer? Like this is what we get now.
Yeah,
Now we get a half Penta exposed after he spent so fucking long of his career keeping that kayfabe and keeping that alive. Like, come on, man.
yeah, that was the worst thing I saw. It's we talk about Miguel. You talk about AAA. You know that, and Amando as well. you don't expose anybody who's a luchador without the mask. It's a time honored tradition that whoever wears a mask, it's sacred. You do not ever, unless you're losing the match, and say, "Hey, I got pinned, and forever I'm gonna lose my mask, then I'm gonna get exposed."
I don't. Oh, sorry. Didn't want to cut you off. Go ahead. Sorry. On a personal level, I talked to this about my wife, how this generation, and this is a perfect example, how they don't give a fuck about tradition. And I'm going to use strong language here. So if you have kids watching this, I do apologize. I know my neighbors watch for a fact. So sorry, kids. It's all about respect and how you're fucking brought up. I keep telling my wife, there's a lot of bullshit that I see on social media where guys who are made up, like I show speed, they lower shit down for him. They make this guy a winner, like so he can be like Miguel said, like these like I have no idea what influencers are under the sun. Like the fuck are you influencing me for? You know, you're just content creators. There's a level of respect. If you don't have that in mind, why the fuck are you being invited to wrestling shows when you are? I've never heard of this guy until now. Neon, like, what the fuck? Who are you?
Yeah, they're a bunch of they're all.
But exactly, they show lack of respect. They splice, you know, just like everything on YouTube or Instagram, they splice things up so they can look good and make the other person look bad. This is the generation that we're living in, dude. They don't care about tradition. They don't care about morals. They disrespect older people. There's just no end to this. I guess you can say the amount of disrespect that they like to do and like to show, and they think that's normal. And it's like, it's got to stop, guys. Really, we love wrestling. There's no excuse for that. You either bring that fucking video down or somebody bring that fucking kid down. Is it I'm pretty sure it's a fucking kid.
Yeah, he was a Hispanic looking guy, or
even worse, bro. Like if you're Hispanic, I'm pretty sure somebody in your motherfucking household has talked about wrestling, Mexican wrestling, the lucha libre. Come on, man. Let's not be that ignorant, dude. Well, but if you are, then it's like, again, it's this generation showing lack of respect, lack of following the rules. Oh, I'm sorry. You got to be a rule breaker nowadays to be somebody. Dude, put that fucking video down. You know, I'm glad I don't know who the fuck you are because I'm never going to follow you. And vice versa. You may not follow this fucking channel, but I don't care. You know, there's going to be listeners and I'm going to implore you guys, you know, there are going to be some influencers that are going to be positive. But this dude going into somebody's, it's like, oh man, don't get me started because I will go on a motherfucking rant. And just hearing that just pisses me off.
Oh,
we do our due diligence. When we go to the live shows, whether it's WWE, AEW, indie wrestling, there's a time and a place for that shit. And, and you know, they'll tell you straight up like, hey, or you go up to somebody, may I take a photo? Cool, bro. You even tell them, hey, do you mind if I post this up on social media? You ask. You fucking ask. You just don't do it just because, you know? And it's like, you go to these events. Of course there's going to be rules, but you're going to say, oh, I didn't know. Nobody told me. Get the fuck out of here, man. Grow the fuck up.
Yeah, like in the video, they immediately like stopped the dude and it's like, hey man, like they asked him, hey, you streaming? And they're like, hey, you better delete this. I mean, I'm pretty sure he might have. I don't know, but then you know you're streaming live, and there's other people obviously watching you. People are gonna Photoshop or not Photoshop, but screenshot. You know what they've been watching, or maybe they were recording as well, so that way they can make you know their own content based on his content. You know, so but unfortunately, that's the caveat that's happening when it comes to these influencers. They're just recording themselves out of nowhere, and then you know. People are out there who actually enjoy watching this and you know don't want to go too much in a tangent when it comes to what they do and out of respect is just saying, hey man, the dude, you messed up, you really did. And you know, for us as like Mondo said, like a wrestling fan, you know, we don't tolerate that shit. And you know, yes, go fuck yourself, Neon, for being an idiot. So I just hope going forward they don't do that, like Miguel said. don't bring influencers into like in the backstage area. If you're going to record, get permission first, and then you can do what you need to do. Because if you're just doing whatever the fuck you want to do, then like Mondo said, you're just disrespecting the product. You're just disrespecting whatever's happening, because you need to show that respect. So I hopefully this is like a learning lesson to that idiot going forward, and then we don't talk about this guy and give him any more talking points about him. But yeah, go after yourself, Neon. But going into AEW, we're getting ready for a pay-per-view next week, right, Mondo? We're
actually, yeah, the next Sunday. I feel like this pay-per-view was really rushed. There was like literally absolute no build up to some of these matches, and I'm just like, what? Like, you know, it's like I get it. We got a new champion in Kenny by God Omega. Interesting with the whole celebration going on. Did you guys notice the Young Bucks t-shirts?
Yeah, light blue, right?
Yeah, just like
blue.
Who does that remind you of, though? Who? Yeah, exactly. The New Day. And then, like, if you go back and watch the footage, like the little montage and the little photos that they have, you know, man. There was a guy on YouTube. See, I'll follow YouTube, not like Instagram. I guess YouTube's another form of influencers. But follow the wrestling ones. People follow the wrestling ones. Some guy, you pointed out, like, if you look at the photos, there's some photos when they were at E3, and they're playing against the New Day. I was like, holy shit, you're right. It's like very small, but it's like, you know, the camera kind of does it on purpose, and it just kind of flickers away. But if you paused it, it's like it's right there. I was like, holy shit, like that's right. You know, so could we be seeing the New Day, Xavier Woods, or maybe Kofi, the real Kofi, on this pay-per-view this coming Sunday? Too soon, I think. I kind of wish they would come towards All In, a bigger pay-per-view, but who knows? It would be great, but still not enough build up to this pay-per-view, because we got Kenny versus the Jet, not Benny the Jet Rodriguez, but the Jet, Kevin Knight, Sandlot for anybody watching. Good reference there. And we just got told that Cage and Cope versus Claudio Castagnoli and Pac for the tag team titles. I'm like, huh? Exactly. What? Okay. And then we got I don't know. Like, I really love the buildup with the dogs and the guns, the Bang Bang Gang.
Oh wait, that's
it's like this.
Sorry.
It's like this. Yep.
Is this Fandango? What are you talking about? This is Fandango.
Whoops. Copyright infringement. Cease and desist there, Bang Bang Gang. But then we got something coming up on this Wednesday, but I feel like it's going to lead up to the pay-per-view. We might get a tags match or maybe a trios match. And yeah, those are like...
please, trios, please. I mean, in a good way. Like,
you want them to lose the trios belt. Yes, exactly. Which is weird. And then I do know for a fact we got a women's title match coming up in Redemption. It just seems so rushed.
You're missing the other one, which caught me off guard. It's the Young Bucks versus
Moxley,
Moxley.
That's because it happened in Collision. The challenge was issued in Collision.
Okay.
Talking about Dynamite, Tony. Whoa, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Because you know, I'm trying to get my inner Moxley. He sounds like uncle, you know. He's like, and I'm like, okay.
I don't even know what he said at the end of the match. He's like,
yeah.
He's like that dude from Bobby Boucher. Bobby Boucher. Touchdown.
Yeah, like okay, like cross-eyed fuck. But yeah, there's like all these moving pieces, and you're like, I'm already lost. I'm like you said in the past, I know it's going to be a good pay-per-view, but you lost me, guys. As much as I love you guys right now, it's like, where the hell was the storytelling? Where the hell were these, you know, feuds starting from, or whatever? I don't know. I was just like, next Sunday, I'm just going to watch. You got my $40, but let's see what happens. I don't know. I don't know. How you know? I don't know. I don't know, Andrade. I wish I knew. I wish I could answer, but I don't know. When do you guys take it away? Because I'm fucking lost.
Yeah, you're lost in space. Oh,
usually AEW PLEs, they have like fucking 8 wrestling matches, and it's ridiculous. So there is no storytelling. There's just all wrestling. So I think there's in okay, after us seeing the generation that we grew up with,
Hmm.
and what it was passed on to, and now what it is to now, it's fair to say that we're able to give opinions of the nature of the way we think things are because we've seen wrestling throughout the seasons, right? And
Yep.
I just think it is wild that these fools always put on like 7, 8 matches on a PLE and no storytelling. Don't get me wrong. We're all here for wrestling, so the wrestling is great. But there needs to be a small balance of storytelling because, like Mondo said, I'm loving what you guys are putting out for real. But what the hell's going on sometimes? Like, you know, in a good way. And so now I ask you guys this question, right?
Hmm.
Do you guys think and this is a now a question for both companies. So I'm referring to both, but we can answer them as one. Do you guys think that we've not finally, but we hit a wall with how many wrestlers are on these rosters? Because there's an absurd amount of wrestlers on both rosters that we don't really see. And when we do see them, we're like, oh, yeah, I remember them. Like, for example, I'll tell you guys one that we probably spent the last 3 weeks talking about AEW and haven't said not one word. But what about the ops? Again, I'm not saying let's answer that, but I'm just saying that's just an example of, man, that's Samoa Joe and Hook and all them, and they're not even getting airtime. So have we finally reached that point where, man, these promotions, they might be doing great and they might have a lot of money, but no one's really getting airtime if you're not a superstar.
I'm gonna probably jump in there, and I will probably say, and it's funny. I'll stick with AEW because when they do their Wednesday shows, I think that's where all the main stars are on Wednesday nights, and then on Saturday during Collision. I think I see, like I think I mentioned it. I see a lot of ROH guys, these other guys that come about, and you'll see. I don't know if it's an equivalent to superstars model, but then correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Chris Jericho just fought like this 300-pound guy and put him on the walls of Jericho?
Yeah,
Um,
that was last week's.
that was last week, right?
Yeah,
Okay, and then this week it was Tommaso Ciampa, and then he beat the crap out of this guy. But you start
it was
seeing.
from the Rascals.
Oh yeah, it was the Rascals guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's from the Rascals. But what I'm trying to say is that most of the bigger names are being seen on Wednesdays, and then they build up these other guys on Saturdays. But you're right. I haven't seen the ops. Last time we talked about it, Samoa Joe walked away, and where did Hook end up going? He ended up going to GCW.
Mhm.
And we haven't heard of. I haven't seen him ever since that. I haven't seen him then. Shibata, where'd he go? Where'd he go?
Chop Suey. I don't know. It's yeah, it's just one of those things where, like, yeah, I do agree with you there that Dynamite is where the I'm gonna take a line. Look at the adjective, Tony. We didn't come here to play, but they're like on Nitro, where it's the main
The big boys.
Dynamite, which is the main show. Over here thinking I'm Kevin Nash. Yeah, I hit Piper, and he just looked up, all shocked. He wasn't a tough guy. Like, yeah, I think I'm a legend too in my mind. But anyways, going back to the point there.
Me too.
Yeah, Dynamite serves as the I guess you can say, like you said, Tony, the Raw, and then you have Superstars, which is Collision, where they showcase the other talent that they have, and they want to utilize them and just get some airtime. Because I'm like, just going back to what Miguel said, Brawling Birds. I'm like, they're still a thing. They're still a tag team. Just saw them wrestle against. Again, it was a squash match, but still, they look pretty good. I think Collision serves more like a how can we say, a proving ground, or just like, hey, we're reminding you, we still have these guys over here, these female wrestlers, and from time to time, they're gonna come out. Yeah, but at least tell me why they're there, or if there's like a storyline, or even take like a little bit of Dynamite and maybe sprinkle it onto Collision, maybe continue that. Best example was John Moxley, where he would wrestle Dynamite, go to Collision, go back to Dynamite, continue the storyline, go to Collision a little bit more. I'm not knocking down what, because words are words, and well, just take the hit. Take the hit. That's what he was saying. Take the hit. Take the hit. But yeah, he was he was pretty much telling Will Ospreay after he beat what was it, Adam Brooks, his friend in Australia. Is it Australia or England, or when he was down in Australia?
Yeah, like they were home or some shit like that.
Yeah, so it was a great match, hard hitting, and that's what he was yelling. But he was like the only wrestler who continued the storyline from Dynamite into Collision, back to Dynamite into Collision, and then going that all the way to the pay-per-view. Hint, hint, guys. He made me care about the Death Riders. He made me care about who he is as a wrestler, as John Moxley, his philosophy. But then we don't see it with the other wrestlers who are into these storylines. We kind of did a little bit with Death Riders and Cope and Christian, but it didn't materialize to anything. There was like no, I guess it wasn't organic enough to get a rise out of the crowd. I mean, it did once the Bang Bang Gang got involved, and then once you saw the Bucks. But if it was just Cape and I keep saying I want to say Edge, Adam Copeland and Christian Cage, just with the Death Riders, I don't think there's anything there. So them putting on that little like challenge, like, okay, well, and just to say, I think Cope said, you want to get involved in our business. Pac, you haven't been around. I'm like, he did attack you. He attacked you guys once. He just missed 1 week. So I'm just like, again, make it make sense. Try not to rush into it. But again, it's going to be a good pay-per-view. I'm not worried about it. They're going to perform the best. I just wish, like Miguel said, give us a little bit more storytelling. Give us a little bit of that caveat that we need to just kind of, we want to care about the wrestlers and not give a damn. Conglomeration.
I you know what, just before I answer or continue to answer your question, Miguel, I when it comes to storytelling, I think the other nice build that they've had has been the Chris Jericho and Ciampa match. This week we saw Ciampa say in Big Show's face, Paul White's face, my bad, I don't get sued. Paul White's face, and said, "Hey, I want a no holds barred match," which we kind of technically saw that at that summer beach break, right? They kind of went at it after each other, which again was a brutal freaking match. And if that was an indicator of what they're going to bring into Revolution, I think that's going to be the banger of the night. No,
it's not Revolution. Is it? Is it?
Damn it! Now I gotta go back. It's not Revolution.
Redemption. It starts with an R. I was like, wait, I'm looking at my chair because I'm like, we were just there. Like, that's Revolution. I'm like, Redemption. Redemption. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, because then that AEW Revolution, it's still out there on the 7-Eleven. It's still there. I'm like, oh, that's cool. They haven't taken it down. Oh, so nice. Hopefully, Revolution comes back to LA. So anyway, but yeah, on the WWE side. Yeah, they have a plethora of wrestlers, and I think I think it boils down to like you guys said, it's storytelling, giving them the opportunity to storytell and how to give them a good program. Some of these programs can be a little stale. Some of these programs are a little weird. I think it's weirder. It's weirder in the WWE side if you're really rushing it, because we don't know what type of matches they're gonna bring versus AEW. When you already said it, you put them together. You already know that's going to be a banger. Like, for example, in Collision, I thought what was a banger was AR Fox, the match
versus
with
Jet.
Yeah, versus Jet. I was blown away. I'm like, damn, this match should have been a pay-per-view match. I was like, these guys brought it, and their styles really, really meshed well with each other, and You know, if something like that where you just rush it in a pay per view, we already know AEW brings it. I think it's a little bit different because of the style of WWE. But then, you know, I think they have to have a better build up on the other end of the spectrum, I think. Or maybe for both, like you said, both need to have that little build up into why. But that's the difference, though. We know AEW is going to bring it, like Miguel said. AEW is going to bring it, put two guys together. They're going to be like, hey, you know what? We're going to tear the house down. Sorry, I kind of went on a tangent on that one. Sorry, Miguel. Last, well, I mean, when it comes to AEW, we mentioned it. When it comes to Tekla and the Triangle of Madness going over to Japan and walking away with their titles over there, so more reason for Tekla to talk smack about Stardom and their bullcrap women's wrestling over there. So Tekla, amazing. That's all I gotta say.
She's a beast, man. I mean, what can I say about her? I mean, she's just beast. I love her mic skills. She does work in the ring. Um, I think what I just like about her is, and I'm saying this in the character comparison, okay? I'm not saying it in the accolades and stuff like that. And I'm not saying it in that type of way because we haven't obviously seen her full career. But character aspect wise, the reason why I love her is because I feel that she is a split image of what Stone Cold used to be. Just kind of F everyone. I'm gonna do me. This is me. I'm the champion. You're gonna love me. I hate the boss. Who cares? You know, and I'm not saying hers is the same as that, but what I mean is her attitude, the way she brings it, even with like the announcers when she sits down and talks to him, she still has her attitude on, you know, and kind of even the stuff that she says on her promos, even when she's on the mic, she's telling like the ladies in the ring like screw you and talking mess and again, it's just part of the character, like Mondo said, with storylines. If you're gonna give me this matchup, give me some story, right? Okay, if you're gonna present this chick who's a firecracker, show me her personality then. Let me see that that matches up. And every time that she's on the mic again, whether she's co-announcing for a match or she's doing a promo, she is 1000. So I'm really enjoying Tekla and her madness.
It's like, look at these bitches.
Yeah, for
Look at
real.
these stupid bitches. Exactly. Onion Breath could not have said it better herself. Again, when you present someone and you give them a good story, a good background of just us getting to know the wrestler, one of two things happen. We're going to get behind them. Clearly, we're behind Tekla. And just like Miguel said, her attitude, just the way she carries herself in and out of the ring, like, goddamn, like, that's fucking cool. And then second, you're getting the reaction, whether it be good or bad. You're getting something and the fans are behind it. Why can't we get that? I'm sorry, but why can't we just get that with like other wrestlers from time to time? Because Tekla, granted, it wasn't like every week. It's like every so often. But when she got the opportunity, she stole the show. She told a great story. And I'm sure everybody has a story to tell in wrestling. Just give it some time. Let it sizzle. Let it cook.
I wonder, hold on, not to cut you off real quick, but I wonder what the locker room thinks of her. Right? Because you just said right now that she does a good job and is even winning over like, you know, or pissing off the fans, or she's either winning you by her attitude or her personality. What does the locker room think?
Great question. I mean, so far from what I hear from like, you know, I guess Twitter feed or like feedback from other podcasters or like what is that? Uncle Papa Dave Meltzer, you know, they have a great attitude back there. And it's like, just like MJF said in his interviews with other, you know, interviews, you know, it's the attitude. Everybody's like working. Everybody has the same goal and the same mindset. So I'm thinking that that holds true for everybody, even for someone like Tekla. Like, hey, they either one enjoy working with her, but we're not in the back area. We can only speculate, and what they're doing is just really great. It seems like the entire AEW locker room is communicating well enough to the point where they're doing things that I don't want to say like compare apples and oranges, but they're just doing things their way, and they should continue. Just um, for example, we got Sky Blue reaching out to John Moxley giving his input. So we got female wrestlers reaching out to not only female wrestlers within their circle, but going out to the men and getting that type of feedback, getting that input to put together a match or to try to help their character, be more solid, be a bit more real. And, kudos to Sky Blue, because I'm like, man, it seems like she's putting in a lot of work. And you see that from time to time with each and every wrestler. But can we say that they like her backstage? Who knows? Maybe she's keeps to herself. Usually at the end of those pay-per-views, she comes out badass, and it's like, she's like, her personality is like, hey, I got a one bitch on my lap, and I'm throwing my dollars over here to the strippers. Kudos, man, but seems like everybody is doing their part there. And motorboat, Mina Shirakawa's boobies there. Go ahead.
You know what? At the end of the day, what I love to see is that there's like a brotherhood, sisterhood within the wrestling community, and there's you see it on Twitter, you see it on I'll see it on Instagram, or mostly on Instagram, where the wrestlers from different organizations, they might have worked with each other in indies, but obviously they're in different separate entities, companies. Whenever they come together, or when their companies are near a city, and they come together, they take pictures of each other. I seen Julia taking pictures with Megan Bain, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Or Mira Sharakawa, they train. I think it was Mina Shirakawa and Julia. I think they were both in a dojo. I don't know if you saw that. They took a picture, and there's like all these other dojo participants, and it's just cool to see that they all train with one another from time to time. And it's cool to have that that brotherhood, sisterhood within the wrestling community, because like, for example, now Sheamus or the New Day, they're gonna probably end up going to, well, maybe not Sheamus, but not you, Sheamus. The New Day going to AEW. I'm pretty sure they're so cool with Big E, right? One day,
Yeah.
whenever they come together, or the city, they're kind of close proximity, they're gonna be kind of like, hey, what's going on? Let's go hang out, type of thing. CM Punk, Darby Allin is another one, right? So they're good friends. Oh, not Darby Allin. I'm sorry. It's Danhausen. I'm sorry. When they were kind of separated, now Danhausen's in WWE, but that's what I love about that. That's what I love about having that community within each other. But anyway, but I digress. But we love wrestling. We love what they do, and as always, we're always keen on what new stories, what new holy crap moments are gonna be abound in the next couple of days. We got Monday Night Raw happening tomorrow. We got, for us, Callie, myself, and Richard, who is not with us this week, are going to be going to Monday Night Raw here in the Intuit Dome. Obviously, Mondo couldn't make it.
Oh man, it was at the Intuit Dome.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yes.
Yeah, it's at the Intuit Dome. And then we're about a month away or two with Triple Mania. So hopefully once SummerSlam is over, we'll start gearing up into Triple Mania mode and start hyping that up. Yeah, I think that's pretty much for this week in terms of what's happening. If there's anything else, I think we probably kind of covered everything in terms of what's happening this week in both companies. AAA was
I mean, AAA was a pretty standard regular wrestling week. Probably the one takeaway is Andrea is back in AAA. I'm not too sure what her title is, but she is a full-time employee back in AAA, so you can expect seeing her a lot more. And welcome back, Andrea.
We probably see Perros del Mal like probably attacking her, try to get at El Grande Americano.
Well, they did cut a promo at the end of Saturday's night show. So they're getting good airtime, man. Perros del Mal have consistently now have came out, I think over the last month now. So uh I asked this quick question, or not quick, but just short question, I guess. But is this a sign that we might be possibly seeing them, one of them, trios, doubles, mixed at AAA? I mean, at Triple Mania, or do you guys think they're just still doing this good job of building their storyline? Because it seems like they don't really have an agenda, but just wreck everyone in AAA right now. Like that's their agenda.
Yeah, I think if they want to get, I'll probably jump in terms of like Survivor Series mode, maybe not the War Games type of thing, but having all the Perros del Mal on one end, and then hey, go ahead and go find yourself two more. And I think we talked about this, Callie, about what's happening in Triple A, maybe with Triple Mania. Who's actually going to be there? Who can actually come over to the U.S. and actually fight here in Vegas? Is it going to be the whole roster from AAA? Probably not. Maybe they're gonna probably save a couple of big names that can stay in Mexico and hype them up, so that way they're taking care of night two. I think I'm speculating, of course. I think they might find one more person, and I think it's gonna be a 3-on-3. I think they just to get one more name to hype up Triple Mania in Vegas. Hopefully they do, but that's just me.
I mean, they do have man, what's her name? The chick that's with Perros del
Petra,
Petra.
yeah,
Um, I mean, she can always get one
Petrovich is her last name.
Petrovich.
It's
Okay.
it's it's Carmen Petrovich.
Harvin, right? Okay, well, let's just say she can always tag up with someone else and do the mixed tag team against Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana. I
True.
mean, I'm not saying they deserve a title right away, right? Like, let's build up to that. But what I'm saying is like what's interesting about Perros del Mal is that there's three guys and one girl, right? So like again, it can be trios, a double, a mixed doubles, singles. So they're just wrecking everyone at the moment.
Keep wrecking everybody at the moment. I think that's something we need to see more of. Just
Yeah.
the faction just not giving a fuck and causing chaos. And let's who's going to step up. So that'll be good. Hopefully they can build that up. And like you guys said, depending on how they want to work this out, Triple Mania coming around, and then maybe 2-3 weeks before the actual pay-per-view, we get these challengers and then go from there. But yeah, them wrecking things up week in, week out. Good to see. Gotta have a little chaos in there. So I like that.
Yeah, it's refreshing. Are they, man, AAA, they always do good with promos too, man. I love how they do a mixture of live promo and then they do a recorded promo, but their promos are mini novelas. They might be 4 or 5 minutes long, but you're sitting there glued just watching it like, okay, this is drama. And that's the one thing that I've learned to appreciate of AAA, that they just do so well. And I hope it just continues because like we're alluding to the other companies, I think that's what WWE and AEW are missing a bit at the moment is more of the cohesiveness and the inclusion of stories versus in Triple Mania, that is heavily relied on, right? Like, so Andrea lost her job because of the mask and all that, all et cetera, et cetera. And everyone thought it was over, but then here comes the story back, right? Andrea's back, and then who knows how that's gonna unfold. So I just think their storylines are just A1, and let's just keep doing that.
You gotta
Check out
think.
Lucha Underground. It's up on YouTube. They got all the seasons, I believe.
Are they gonna revamp that, or
I'm
is
hoping they will
I thought they were.
because I thought they were, but
Or
I haven't
was
heard
that
anything since, but I did. It came up on my YouTube feed. I'm subscribed, and I was watching the very first episode, and it just when you said the whole storylines, like it takes like 3-4 minutes. I'm like, dude, that was like Lucha Underground's niche. You know, they had like these cool vignettes, cool storylines that were just off the wall, but very entertaining. And you know, you'll see guys like Penta, Io Sky there, freaking Ricochet. You know, a lot of big names. You know, who were just Prince Puma. Dude, check it out. Matanza Negra. That was freaking. What was his name? Big boy Jeff Cobb. Like all these guys, you know, and the storytelling. It reminds me, just like you said, Miguel. Just kind of like these little video packages, and it's really fun. If you guys just go check them out, subscribe. It's free. They have the full episodes up. It just took me back to a time where I was like, holy crap, like this is it. But you know, things happen, business.
All good.
I agree, man. I mean, AAA is doing such a good job with like the well, I don't know why I always mix up their names, but Pagano and the whole Psycho Clown group. I mean, when they do their promos, they're like 5 minutes long, but they are so into it, man. It's like Pagano's yelling at this dude, you know, in the locker room while the other dude's going crazy doing something else, you know, and it's like it's just exactly how you said. They're promos that are cut really well, but they also grab you in, you know, where you're like, okay, I gotta stay and watch this, you know, I have to watch this. So
I gotta
And
say the
that's the
same
power
thing.
of storytelling.
No, I mean, they could just have a 2-3 minutes of just like Toxicals just standing there. I'm good. So we're
I
good.
mean, that's all
Don't
they
say a
need.
word. Just do a little turn around. A little
Anyway,
twirling.
there's kids watching this. But anyway, but yeah, that should another great week of wrestling. Building up stories and lack thereof, and so as we get closer and closer to redemption. There you go.
There we go.
Redemption.
And I was thinking about it too. I was like, wait.
Redemption. Hopefully, there'll be some other stories, or there's another like match. I'm pretty sure they're gonna add like 4 more matches before it's all said and done. But you know, at the end of the day, that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna put 2 matches in their pre-show, and they're gonna probably add in another one, kind of like slide in there just to kind of get the crowd like relaxed for a little bit before we get into the main event. But it's going to be a banger of a week when it comes to pro wrestling. Thank you guys for sharing your stories and your opinions with us. And then those at home right now listening to this podcast, please like and subscribe. Anything that you guys think, agree with or disagree with, please let us know. We'll be happy to read that. But in the meantime, so support your local wrestling and buy merchandise, AEW, WWE. We love wrestling. Mondo loves the rain. And, just ensure that you guys are enjoying wrestling for what it is. It is sports entertainment. And, we love it just as much as you guys do. And thank you again for listening to another edition of the West Coast Trios Wrestling Podcast. This is Tony. This is Miguel. This is Mondo. Guys, thank you. We'll see you next week.